Good morning, Get Wrecked for Recovery crew. So it's day 107 of the Redeeming Eden Cycle Tour, RECT, Get Wrecked for Recovery, a bicycle trip across the United States of America to raise awareness that there are addiction recovery options available, that you don't have to die in your addiction. There's churches, celebrate recoveries, and rescue missions all over the nation, all over the world, that just want to help you, talk to you, and love you if you find yourself battling addiction. So I'm here in Hinman at the Baptist Church Cycle Hostel. About to get on the road. It's 8:40. It just stopped raining. That front finally came through. So I'm going to go ahead and I went ahead and got all my rain gear on because the road's going to sling water up onto me. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start making some miles today. I got 67 miles and 7,600 feet of climbing to do between here and the Breaks Campground. No idea if I'll make it or not, but there's nothing really in between. So just going to cycle all day. Let's see, at 8 times 8 is 64. So if I do 8 miles an hour on average, that would be 8 hours of cycling. That would put me, within 3 miles of the campground. And with it being 9, that would give me an hour kind of break and still put me there at dark. So I just don't like to be in the saddle for, 4 hours and then an hour break and then 4 hours. It's a long time to just sit in a bicycle saddle. Either way, though, I have to do it today. So here goes nothing. I love you guys. I'll see you later. Tell you what, these hills just keep getting steeper and steeper. There's also this line of coal that I see in the mountain. Everybody up here, a lot of the conversation has been, when Obama and Biden came in, they kind of took the coal away. There used to be a lot of coal trucks that came through here and made cycling really rough. As a matter of fact, on the Trans-America Trail map, the picture for this route is of a coal truck. And I haven't seen the first one. But so the topic of conversation is when Obama and Biden came in I guess that was 2008, that they kind of destroyed the coal industry, but that Trump, when he, campaigned in this general area, one of his big campaign promises was bringing back coal. And that has never happened. So consequently, because of that chain of events, there's a lot of just absolute destitute poverty in this whole area. People who made 6 figures in the coal mines now had no jobs. And so I was speaking to a lady named Miss Tommy Bailey in Hazard, and she does a lot of volunteer work with the schools. And she said that at one of their elementary schools, 41 of their children at their school are homeless. They have no physical address. They live in the woods. They live in the, behind buildings and whatever with their families. Even in the winter up here. So it's weird to see how political decisions can affect the actual physical lives of people in such a profound way. I've seen, you know, destitute poverty around the United States, but this seems to go on and on and on. It's just, it's almost a wreck. It's really heartbreaking. When I was back there at Mount Zion Baptist Church, Daniel was telling me that one of the counties that I was coming through is in the top 10 of the worst health and worst, you know, quality of life in the nation. And so it's definitely different. It's strange that they've got all these beautiful views and the mountains are just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And the one thing that they can produce, that they moved to this area and settled this area for, or at least ramped it up for, was coal production. And now it's falling by the wayside. I've even sat on the side of the road and taken my brakes a couple times and sat on coal, and you can smell it. It's like an oily, really strange smell. It's also really sticky. It kind of stays on your fingers if you pick it up and touch it. But yeah, it's definitely different. Howdy. It's almost like the inner city ghettos where you see a lot of poverty, but it's like it's open land. It's just strange. Definitely lifting up this area, especially eastern Kentucky, in my prayers as I ride. That Alice, whatever it was, college, was also built and made for, I think from what I understand, families to be able to get free education in this area. I don't know all the details. But yep, I'm gonna keep riding through what is extremely beautiful scenery, yet at the same time extremely tragic poverty. And my heart is overwhelmed with joy at the views, because it really is, you know, the camera doesn't do it justice. If you look at each one of those trees on that mountain ahead of me, they're 50, 60, 75, 100-foot trees, and you know, I can count 20 or 30 up that hill in height, 300, 400, 500 foot tall mountain passes. Which is also what I'm about to have to ride over. I got 4 of them today. It is so cold. I'm glad that the rain let up, you know, it's like that Carpenter song. Rainy days and Mondays always get me down. But I don't get down, but I do like the sun shining. Especially when it's cool enough like this to pedal and not sweat. Anyway, I'm gonna quit jabbering. Keep on riding to this beautiful fall weather here in Appalach. I love you guys. I'll see you later. Alright, so with the light and weight, I can stand up on the pedals and actually get the work done. I'm just going very slowly. It's better than having to walk and lean over and push the bike, but it is absolutely beautiful, but it's a lot of work. This hill, I think, is about a mile of pretty much this. So I'll see you in about 20 minutes when I start to go down the other side. Well, that does it for that little portion. It is 58 degrees outside and I am soaking wet. I am not gonna hill bomb like I usually do because of all the wet roads from the rain and the leaves, but I will let you guys see this ride down. And I tell you what, it is absolutely, it's a little bit terrifying. You know, the verse, search me, O God, and know my heart, try me and know my thoughts, and see if there be any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. I think it's Psalm 139, 23, and 24. But I am a wretch. Like, climbing this hill, this is hill number 2. It's not a hill, I'm in the mountains now. I'm gonna quit calling them hills. This is the real deal. So anyway, I'm coming up this hill and I see just clouds and I'm like, huh, man, I wonder, oh my gosh, you know, like that hill, this view, like that's the road way down there I'm gonna be on in just a minute. It's beautiful. Like, you can just start to see yellows and oranges sprinkled throughout the whole hillside. Reds on some of the top mountains back here. It's worth it. Like, I wish that I could get my daily, you know, thought life correct to where that doesn't frustrate me so much and that I'm always expecting this, you know? I don't get it. I don't get why we're just so, I'm worthless. Like, I have to trust Jesus to cover this wretched heart of mine. It's beautiful. Just beautiful. It's time to ride down it though. Alright, so I am trying to figure out exactly what to do at this point. I've gone about 40 miles. The temperature is dropping fast. I've still got maybe an hour and a half of daylight, but I'm not going to make it the rest of the 27 miles to the breaks. I won't even make it to Elkhorn City where the first campground is. So I'm here at a grocery store in Virgie, Kentucky, asking around, trying to figure out if there's any Uber, any anything, taxi service, hotels, motels, Holiday Inns, you know, and it's not panning out. There is nothing out here. So yeah, I guess you guys will know more of what I figure out and how I do that. I looked up on Uber and it said for a ride from here to Elkhorn City or to the Breaks campground it would be $44, but there are no Uber people out here, so I'm totally okay spending that. The campground's only just a few dollars to stay there, so it's just kind of trying to figure out how to get there. Yeah, rough stuff. Big hills, mountains today, and just got to figure it out. So I'm just going to sit here and continue to pray and trust the Lord for whatever happens next. I love you guys. I'll see you later. Alright, so quick update. It is nighttime. Almost. It's like 7:15, 7:20. I called everybody that I could, and now it looks like the police are coming to pick me up. Yikes. No, it's a good thing. So I called all of the taxi services in Pikeville, which is the closest town. Called all around, finally called the old standby, 911. Hey, I need to camp somewhere. Where do I camp? Told her what I was doing, where I was trying to go. She said, call the Breaks Interstate Campground and see if they have a shuttle service. I said, that's a great idea. So I called. They don't. They've got 3 rooms left and 2 campsites available. So I called her back and I said, nope, that's a negative. So she said, I'm working on something now. Can you take your bike apart? And I said, yes. She said, well, I'm trying to get an SUV, but if not, we may have a car come pick you up. And I was like, oh, that would be so cool. So I may be getting a ride. I'm praying for a ride, but I may be getting a ride from the Kentucky State Police to the Virginia state line. Don't know. That's where it stands right now. And you guys will know right about now. Alright, so I made it to the Breaks campground. Again, my accommodations for the night. So interesting how that worked out. The Kentucky State Police did bring me to Virginia at 95 miles an hour. For someone who's been on a bicycle at 8 miles an hour, 95 miles an hour was awesome. We went so fast. The officer's name was Officer Combs, and we chatted the whole way. It was so good. It was about a 30-minute car ride. We had to kind of go up and around rather than the straight-through shot that the Trans-America Trail map had me take. But yeah, when he picked me up, he was like, be glad this worked out. He said this area in Virgie and a couple areas, you know, are in that general area, are really, that's where they get their most calls, their most complaints. He said, you did well to just kind of stay there under the lights after nightfall. And so I was like, that's kind of how I was warned in Hindman. And I actually said Hinman. He said, Hindman? That's where I'm from. So I was like, how about that? So it is Hindman. Anyway, yeah, so rolled in here, went to check in, campground booked. Had 1 room left. 2 ladies that were there as I was checking in were checking into a family reunion, and they were like, you know, do you have any rooms left? She's like, I don't. I was standing there like, I'd already talked to her on the phone, but it hit me how amazingly close this was. I mean, it wasn't close. God's in control. But yeah, so $99, got a room. I've even got a balcony out the window there, which is interesting for a $99 hotel room at a lodge at a state park campground. It's supposed to be phenomenal. I've got this little thing here that says the Grand Canyon of the South, so don't know what that looks like in person yet, but I'll see it in the morning. Yeah, really neat though. Had to take the bike all the way apart to fit it in the cruiser. And so, like, we were just piling stuff in. He was like, if this won't work, I'll have to run back to the house and get the SUV. And I was like, no, we'll make it work. So we had like a wheel in the trunk. We had everything in there. I was finally like, you got a towel to put down for the chain? He was like, only folks that ride back there are the jailbirds. I reckon it won't matter at all. And so I said, okay. Ran the chain right across those black leather seats and that brand new 2020 Charger. Hey, that's what he told me to do. Anyway, I'm like elated, you know. God told me to be still, and that's what I did. I just stayed there at that place. I had already known that if I couldn't make it any farther, you know, not to go any farther, that was not the place to just stealth camp. And so I was like, how are you going to do it, Lord? How are you going to do it? And that's how he did it. A ride from the Kentucky State Trooper into Virginia. I asked him, I said, I'm surprised your GPS isn't like screaming at you. You are not in your jurisdiction. Turn around now. And he even mentioned a few times as we came into Virginia, he was like, I wonder what these people are thinking. What's this Kentucky State Trooper doing across state lines? But yeah, I didn't get to take a picture of the Virginia sign. I got to see it. I didn't even have time to take the phone out. He was cruising. Like, even on the little mountain roads, you know, we were well over the speed limit. And it was neat. I mean, it was really neat. I really enjoyed that ride. That was a highlight of the trip for sure. So yeah, I'm going to end the video here so that I can cut and edit this video. It is 9 o'clock right now, which should give me enough time to actually get some sleep, get up in the morning and go check out this before I head down the road in state number 11, Virginia. Wow. Good day. I'm excited. So, if you know anyone who's passed away from addiction in any form or fashion, please drop their name in the comments or find me on Facebook. Adam Lineberry, Mobile, Alabama, and I would love to ride for your person and celebrate their life with you for a day. If you know anyone who's actively addicted, share this with them. I don't want to see anybody else die from addiction. And let's use YouTube as a tool that we might save a life. If you know anybody who's in recovery, share this with them. We're all in it together, and I definitely need the recovery community's prayers and support as much as I pray for and support the recovery community. And last but not least, don't forget that Redeeming Eden is a nonprofit ministry through International Gospel Outreach. I'll leave a donation link in the description. Just click the down arrow and you can find it. You can go there. You can donate one time. You can donate monthly. It's whatever the Lord puts on your heart. If he puts it on your heart just to pray, then just pray. But do know that any funds left over from the Redeeming Eden Cycle Tour will go to building Redeeming Eden, the Garden Rehab. Thank you so much for your prayers, for your support, for liking the videos on YouTube, for commenting on YouTube, for sharing the videos on your social media platform, and for subscribing to the YouTube channel. That's a big way to help, hopefully, fund the rehab. So yeah, best good ride I've ever had in a police vehicle before. Oh, wow. And from here at the Breaks Campground in Breaks, Virginia, state number 11, the final state of the Coast to Coast Cycle Tour. I love you guys. Jesus loves you. I'll see you later. Have a good night.